originally announced on the 11th of August, an update to Team Fortress 2 was to be published that day, presumably to fix bugs and improve the general ability for the game to match people together. The community speculated on what this update might fix, only to be shocked with the announcement from Eric S. that the update was being delayed until the following day due to problems found while testing. Obvious game-breaking bugs have been a problem with many of Team Fortress 2's recent updates, and the community was happy to see that the TF team was willing to delay due to bugs they found. Now, during the following day, the update was nowhere to be seen, and just as Valve would be ending for the day, another announcement was made. Quote, "It gets worse. The update has been postponed till next week. There will be a smaller client-side update later today if all goes well. Apologies for the noise." Note, there wasn't any update that night. Also, keep in mind that with this update being pushed till next week, it would be releasing after Heavy vs. Pyro has ended. Now, speculation. The content and size of this update is unknown. However, due to Eric stating that there might have been a smaller client update before the release of this supposedly larger update, then it is possible that this may be a sizable chunk of content, possibly even the class update that Meet or Match was voted for. The update is most likely going to fix the many problems that the recent Meet Your Match created, and hopefully it does this well. Casual, while fun, is far from perfect, and it is just frustrating to see Counter-Strike Global Offensive handle a casual and competitive game mode better. I would love to be able to vote on the map after a match is over, and I hate having to re-queue every single time I finish a match. That's my biggest complaint. It is possible for this next update to be held back even more to coincide with the release of the next Team Fortress comic, TF Comic Issue 6. As according to the official comics artist on DeviantArt, quote, "We can definitely see the light at the end of the tunnel for Issue 6. I'd like to get it wrapped up before the 1-year mark. I don't know if that will be the case, but it shouldn't be far behind. It's also longer than the last comic is too, so there's that." The 1-year mark the artist is talking about is the 1-year mark since the previous comic's release, which was August 31st, 2015, giving the comics writers a little under 3 weeks to be able to finish comic issue 6. And they might, as earlier today on the 13th of August, Valve writer and artist Jay Pinkerton said on Twitter that the comic was coming along as well and should be out soon. He also stated that the issue would be double-sized compared to issue 5, and that the issue has a lot of groundwork to cover if it needs to be a proper sequel. It's totally possible that the next comic will release much farther in the future than what we are currently being told, even 2017. But throughout the last few days, it does seem that the TF team is once again communicating a little. Definitely not enough, but somewhat of a step in the right direction. Community involvement in this situation is key, especially in a game service such as Team Fortress 2, and Valve is very aware of this. Take a look, for example, at the Saxxys, which Valve has recently announced the 6th Annual Saxxys Awards, and in case you don't know what that is an annual awards ceremony show thing, voting thing that happens for source filmmaker rendered videos. Short films, either a minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes, depending on what category you're in, that the community can then vote on, and Valve also can vote on, and the winners win an in-game award, and the top prize is the ability to go to Valve, tour the HQ, and meet the filmmakers at Valve themselves. It does not seem like Valve is giving up on this project. However, as seen in years past, it is not specifically limited to Team Fortress 2 related content. Any of Valve's IPs can be used. All submissions are due mid-November, and then voting begins in late November, and I encourage anybody that thinks they can possibly make something for the Saxxys to submit it. It's great to be able to see the community's creative juices flowing, and sometimes we get some amazing content out of it, so I am very excited to see what the community is capable of creating. And yeah, I of course look forward to whatever update is coming out. I would not necessarily think it to be the size of Meet Your Match or Gunmetal or Tough Break. However, it is totally possible that this may be some kind of contracted update, or maybe some kind of community thing. This may be a somewhat major update, especially if it's being pushed back so frequently. On the flip side, however, it may be pushed back just to show the TF community that they are capable of communicating, testing, and listening. This may be damage control, so keep that in mind. I'm not trying to overhype anybody, however it could be a somewhat substantial update. Either or. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I'm Tyler McVicker, this is Valve News Network. Have a good day. Adios.